In the world of artificial intelligence, the past week has felt less like a tech marathon and more like an all-out war. Seriously, we're watching titans stumble, challengers go on the attack, and the entire rulebook get thrown out the window in real time. So, who is winning this thing? That's the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it? And look, there's no simple answer, but what just happened over the last few days gives us some incredible clues about where the power is really shifting. And a whirlwind is putting it mildly. We've seen huge strategic pivots, we've seen some absolutely massive talent grabs, and a global conversation that's starting to get a whole lot louder. And it affects every single player in this game. Okay, so to make sense of all this chaos, we're gonna break down 4 key stories. We've got a huge delay at Meta, Elon Musk's aggressive push to rebuild XAI, NVIDIA flexing its muscles as the industry's kingmaker, and that growing call for some real regulation. All right, let's get into it. First up, the great AI race. Because that's exactly what this is. We're in this crazy, unprecedented arms race, and the stakes for companies like Meta, Google, and OpenAI, well, they're astronomical. The pressure to build the next great model is just immense. So let's start with chapter 1, and it's a big one, Meta's billion-dollar stumble. You see, they've bet the entire company on AI, but they just hit a very, very expensive and very public speed bump. To really get the scale of this, just try to wrap your head around this number. $135 billion. That's the kind of money Meta is planning to pour into its AI infrastructure by 2026. This isn't just another project for them. It is a fundamental bet on their entire future. And the crown jewel of that massive bet was their next-gen model, codenamed, and I'm not making this up, Avocado. Internally, the hype was just off the charts. This was supposed to be the one, the model that would put them shoulder to shoulder with the competition, or maybe even blow past them. But then, reality hit, and it hit hard. Internal tests showed this massive performance gap. And just so we're all on the same page, logical reasoning is basically asking if the AI can solve a tough riddle. Programming is, can it write code that actually works? And writing, well, can it produce text that feels like a human wrote it? And on all these key fronts, Avocado was lagging. Badly. So badly they had to delay the whole thing. Just how bad was the situation? Well, reports say Meta's top brass actually considered licensing Google's Gemini AI, their direct rival, just to keep their products running. Can you imagine? That's like Ford deciding to put a Chevy engine in the new Mustang. It's a move that signals a real crisis of confidence. And a delay like this isn't just about losing time, it's about losing momentum in a race where coming in second feels like you've already lost. All right, so while Meta is licking its wounds, another challenger smells blood in the water. Elon Musk's XAI is going on a serious talent offensive, and it looks like they're getting ready to rearm for a big fight. And you do that by hiring people like this, Devender Singh Chaplot. I mean, his resume is just an absolute highlight reel of AI's greatest hits. He co-founded Mistral AI, which is a huge deal, got his PhD from Carnegie Mellon. He's even a former researcher at Facebook AI. This isn't just hiring an employee. This is a strategic poach. It's a power move, plain and simple. And this hire fits perfectly into what looks like a classic Musk playbook. Step 1, he publicly admitted their current model, Grok, just wasn't cutting it. Step 2, go out and grab the smartest people you can find. And step 3, tear the whole thing down and rebuild it from scratch. It's a high-risk, high-reward strategy to try and leapfrog the competition. But, to rebuild and accelerate at this scale, every single company in this race needs the same essential gear. They all need the picks and shovels for this digital gold rush. And that brings us to NVIDIA, the undisputed power broker, the arms dealer fueling this entire AI race. I mean, if you want proof of their power, just look at who showed up for their big GTC conference. This is a who's who of the entire AI universe. You've got the hardware folks like Dell. You've got the model makers like Mistral and Cohere. You've even got the people building AI agents like LangChain. They all have to show up here because they all build on NVIDIA's platform. So here's the key takeaway. NVIDIA doesn't actually have to win the model race. They win no matter what, because they're selling the gear to everyone else who's competing. They are the kingmaker. But you gotta wonder, right? What are the risks when the very foundation of this revolution is controlled by a single company? It gives one player so much influence over everyone else. All this speed, all this consolidation of power, it all leads directly to our final and maybe most important story. As this technology gets more and more powerful, that global call for some rules, for some guardrails, is getting way, way louder. And this quote from Tulia Axon, the president of the Interparliamentary Union, really nails the sentiment. She basically says, hey, you can't just pass a few laws and call it a day. The secret ingredient is transparency. So, what do leaders actually mean when they say transparency? Well, it's way bigger than just legislation. They're talking about a whole system of accountability. Things like having independent watchdogs, getting companies and governments to actually cooperate, and most importantly, making sure all this tech doesn't trample on basic human rights. And here's the real twist. They're saying this isn't just a job for governments to figure out on their own. The private sector, the very companies locked in this arms race, are being told you need to help build the ethical framework. It turns out the race for AI supremacy and the race for AI safety are the same race. Which leaves us right here with this one critical question. We see the technology speeding up at a dizzying pace. We see the billions of dollars pouring in. But as this all-out arms race just keeps escalating, who is actually responsible for building the guardrails?